So in the last class we have seen radiation intensity and how this radiation intensity will give you the amount of power being radiated from the antenna. So if we are having the knowledge of this radiation intensity, we can find out by going with the specification of that antenna, that at which directions we are having the radiation, by taking that specification, and if we are having the knowledge of this radiation intensity, we can find out the total radiated power, as well as if we are having the radiation power density, that quantity is known, then also we can find out by taking the closed surface integration over that area. So these are the different expressions or different way to find out the total power radiated. So this radiation intensity, it is the amount of power being radiated in a particular direction, or you can say per solid angle. That is, the solid angle is the direction at which you are having, or the angle up to how much you are having the radiation, or the existence of beam area will be given by this solid angle. Okay, so based on this, let us solve a problem that will give you the more clear view on this. So a simple problem. A radial component of the radiated power density of an antenna is given by W rad is equals to AR cap WR, which is AR cap A naught sin theta by R square. By R square. The unit is watt per meter square. Well, this A naught is the peak value of the power density. This theta is the usual spherical coordinate. AR cap is a radial unit vector. Determine the total radiated power. Radiated power. Okay, so I'm just putting the date. Today is 24/03/20. So this radiation power density is given. From this we need to find out the total radiated power. So obviously we need to integrate this radial component of the power density over its surface. Okay, so as they have not mentioned the extent of this surface, so we'll by default will take the whole spherical surface area, that is P rad. It is within that closed surface W rad n cap dA, normal vector. Okay, so this closed surface area is extending for phi 0 to 2s pi, for theta 0 to pi. This W rad is given, that is AR cap A naught sin theta by R square dot normal vector and dA. dA is the differential beam area. So this normal vector is AR cap, they have already mentioned, is the radial unit vector. Then dA is the R square sin theta d theta d phi. So from this we need to do the integration. So if we do the integration, it is coming out as pi square A naught. So it is total power radiated. So it is having the unit of watt. Okay, so we need to find out the total power radiated. So this is one way to find out the total power radiated. Here W rad is given, that is radiation power density is given. So we can use directly this formula. If this radiation intensity is given, then also we can find out. So here radiation intensity is not given, but we can find out this radiation intensity by using the formula, that is U is equals to R square into W rad. So this is another way of solving this problem. So this one is R square, W rad is A naught sine theta by R square. So it is A naught sine theta. Therefore this P rad is 0 to 2s pi 0 to pi radiation intensity into sine theta d theta d phi. So radiation intensity is A naught sine theta into sine theta d theta d phi. So here we can write down this one as 0 to 2s pi 0 to pi sine square theta d theta d phi. So it is coming out as same value, pi square into A naught watt. Same thing. So if radiation power density is given, then also we can find out the total power radiated. If radiation intensity is given, we can also find out the total power radiated. Next parameter is known as directivity. So what is this directivity is? It can be defined as the ratio of radiation intensity in a given direction from the antenna to the radiation intensity averaged over all directions. It is the ratio of the radiation intensity in a given direction from the antenna to the radiation intensity averaged over all direction. So this average radiation intensity is equal to the total power radiated by the antenna divided by 4 pi. It is the average radiation intensity. The average radiation intensity is equal to the total power radiated by the antenna divided by 4 pi. So the directivity of a non-isotropic source means, isotropic source means the radiation exists in all directions. So if we are having the source which is having the radiation in all directions, so obviously this ratio will become 1 because we are taking the denominator as the radiation intensity averaged over all directions. So this numerator is also having the same directions, so we can say directivity is 1. So if it is a non-isotropic source, so for a non-isotropic source we need to consider the ratio of its radiation intensity in a given direction over that of an isotropic source. So if our source is non-isotropic, then this denominator will be considered as an isotropic source or the reference antenna for with which we are comparing our radiation, we are taking that one as an isotropic source. So I am just writing that one. The directivity, that is the directional property or the direction at which our radiation exists, if that source, that is the antenna under test which we have been considering for measuring the directivity, if it is a non-isotropic source, that is, it is not at all having the direction in all the directions, it is not at all having the radiation in all the directions, then we'll compare this radiation property with an isotropic source. Then we can say, yes, with respect to this isotropic source, we are having the radiation in that direction. Okay, so for any non-isotropic source, the comparison will be with respect to an isotropic source. That is same as what we have been considered, that averaged over all direction. The directivity of a non-isotropic source is equal to the ratio of its radiation intensity in a given direction over that of an isotropic source. So what does it mean? Directivity is denoted by D. D is U by U naught. So what is this U naught? U naught is the radiation intensity of an isotropic source or averaged over all directions. So whatever we are having the total radiated power, if we have been taking the average of that, how we are taking the average? By dividing with 4 pi. So let us consider this U is the radiation intensity of an antenna which is under test, and we are comparing this radiation intensity with a known antenna, that is an isotropic source. Let us consider. So how we have been taking that radiation intensity? The total radiated power divided by 4 pi, that is the radiation intensity averaged over all directions, averaged over all directions. Okay, so same thing, if we are having this power radiated, it is related with this radiation intensity, and we have been taking the integration with respect to 4 pi, that is total sphere. So for this case, if this total sphere exists for an isotropic source, so for this case we can easily find out what is the radiation intensity. It is P rad by 4 pi. So if you take the integration 0 to 2s pi 0 to pi sin theta d theta d phi, you will find out this value as 4 pi. So this 4 pi will go in the left hand side. So P rad by 4 pi will give you the radiation intensity of an isotropic source. So total radiated power, if it is P rad, if we have been taking the average of this, you will have the radiation intensity averaged over all directions. So we can say it is 4 pi U by P rad. So it is dimensionless. It is dimensionless. So what will be the maximum directivity? It will depends upon the maximum radiation intensity of the antenna under test. 4 pi U max by P rad. Okay. Next, under this we can have partial directivity. So it is for a given polarization. So what is this polarization? We will see. Polarization means, let us consider for a particular incidence of a wave, either it is vertically oriented, either it is horizontally oriented, either it is having the circular shape. So we'll see what is this polarization is. So this directivity, partial directivity for a given polarization. Partial directivity of an antenna for a given polarization. Polarization means with respect to the transmitter and receiver how these waves are oriented. With respect to this, let us consider you are having this vertically oriented transmitter. From this, the waves which are generated, they are something like that. So if you are having the front view, you will find a line. Now if you are having a transmitter where the waves are like this, so you will find from looking from this point, these are having a straight line which is horizontally oriented. So depending upon this horizontally or vertically orientation, or either having certain circular orientation, you will find the polarization. So depending upon this kind of polarization or orientation, you will have the partial directivity in a given direction as that part of the radiation intensity, corresponding to a given polarization divided by the total radiation intensity averaged over all directions. Same. That is, this radiation intensity will exist for a particular polarization. If the wave is vertically polarized, then this radiation intensity will be along, let us consider, in the azimuthal direction. If it is horizontally polarized, this radiation intensity will be in the azimuthal direction. So we can say the total directivity, this vertically polarized wave directivity will be different or may be different from the horizontally polarized wave directivity. So this total directivity is the sum of the partial directivities. For any two orthogonal polarizations. That is, d naught is the summation of d theta plus d phi. We may have different directivity in either azimuthal direction or elevation plane. So we can write this d theta as 4 pi u theta, radiation intensity in the elevation plane, divided by p rad in the theta direction plus p rad in the phi direction. Same, d phi is 4 pi u phi, radiation intensity in the azimuthal plane, by p rad theta plus p rad phi. So this is the total radiated power including elevation plane and azimuthal plane. So this u theta and u phi are the radiation intensity in a given direction contained in the theta field component. U theta, it is radiation intensity in a given direction contained in the theta field component. saying this u phi radiation intensity in a given direction contained in the phi field component. So this P rad theta is the radiated power in all directions contained in the theta field component. Same P rad phi is a radiated power in all directions contained in the phi field component. So this P rad, it is the radiated power in any direction, but it is due to the theta field component. This P rad phi, this radiated power in any direction, but it is due to the phi field component. So directivity will give you the idea, the amount of radiation in a particular direction compared to the radiation in all directions. So let us solve a problem. Find the maximum directivity of the antenna whose radiation intensity is A naught sin theta. Radiation intensity is given. Write an expression for the directivity as a function of directional angles theta and phi. Okay, so we need to find out the maximum directivity for this radiation intensity, and we also need to write an expression for the directivity which is maybe a function of theta and phi. So this radiation intensity is given as U is equals to, we know that is R square W, radiation power density, which is given as A naught sin theta. So from this radiation intensity, what we can consider, at which direction we may have the maximum radiation? We may have the maximum radiation along theta is equals to pi by 2. So maximum radiation is directed along theta is equals to pi by 2. So therefore we can say U max, it is A naught. U max is A naught. So we need to find out maximum directivity. So for finding out maximum directivity, we need maximum radiation intensity. So what will be this P rad? We can find out 0 to 2s pi, 0 to pi. U is given as A naught sin theta d omega. D omega is sin theta d theta d phi. So it is pi square A naught. So this maximum directivity D max, it will be 4 pi U max by P rad. So it is 4 pi U max is A naught, P rad is pi square A naught. So it is 4 by pi. It is coming out as 1.27. Okay. So here what we can see, that this directivity or radiation intensity is a function of theta only. So since the radiation intensity is the function of theta only, the expression for directivity will be d is equals to d naught sin theta. So what is this d naught? D naught is the d max. We can say it is d max sine theta. So d max is 1.27 sine theta. Okay. Another problem. The radial component of the radiated power density or radiation power density of an infinitesimal linear dipole. It is a special kind of dipole. Linear dipole of length L less than lambda is given by W average is equals to A r cap W r is equals to A r cap A naught sine square theta by r square. So this A naught is the peak value of power density. Determine the maximum directivity of the antenna and express the directivity as a function of the directional angles, same angles theta and phi. So we need to find out the maximum directivity as well as we need to find out the expression for the directivity. So this is the radiation power density is given. So from this obviously we need to find out U max. From W average we can easily find out U is equals to R square into W average, and from this we can also find out the P rate. So in this way we can find out the D max. So radiation intensity U will be R square W rate, that is same as this W average. So we can say R square into A naught sine square theta by R square. So it is A naught sine square theta. So we need to find out the U max. So maximum radiation along, obviously to make this quantity maximum we need to take theta is equals to 90 degree along theta is equals to pi by 2. So this U max is again is equals to A naught. So therefore P rate we are having the U with us. So from this we can easily find out this radiation total radiated power. So this is 0 to 2s pi 0 to pi U max. We need to go with this U. So it is A naught sine square theta into sine theta d theta d phi. So from this if you do the integration it is coming out as A naught into 8 pi by 3. So you just do the calculations, you will find this value. So therefore maximum directivity D max or D naught, whatever it is, we can write 4 pi U max by P rad. So U max we know, P rad also we know. So 4 pi A naught by P rad is A naught into 8 pi by 3. So it is coming out as 3 by 2. It is 1.5. So therefore the expression will be D is equals to D naught. Previously that was A naught sine theta, now it is A naught sine square theta. So it will be D naught sine square theta that is 1.5 sin square theta. Clear? Any doubt? Anyone having any doubt? Next thing is gain. Yes. Where is the doubt? Next thing is gain. So this parameter is almost same as the directivity. Only the thing is that this gain is considered along with directivity when the antenna efficiency is considered. So obviously gain, the name itself will give you the idea that gain, depending upon the input, how much output you are getting. Okay. So we can say this gain is closely related to directivity. Second point, it takes into account the efficiency of the antenna as well as its directional capabilities. So if the antenna is having very high efficiency, then we can consider this gain is same as the directivity. So directivity says in a particular direction how much power is get radiated, comparing to an antenna which is having the power radiation in every direction. So let us consider we are taking the absolute gain. So this absolute gain of an antenna is defined as the ratio of, you just try to figure out what is the difference, ratio of the radiation intensity in a given direction to the radiation intensity that would be obtained if the power accepted by the antenna were radiated isotropically. The radiation intensity corresponding to isotropically radiated power is equal to the power accepted by the antenna divided by 4 pi, same thing. So what is this gain says? that it is the ratio of the radiation intensity in a given direction. Same thing what we have been given the conclusion for the directivity, how we have defined the directivity. So it is the ratio of the radiation intensity in a given direction. For the directivity, it was considered that the radiation to the radiation intensity averaged over all direction. So we have not considered how much power has been given to the antenna. We have considered the total radiated power for the directivity. So that was the ratio of the radiation intensity in a given direction to the radiation intensity averaged over all direction. But this gain considers the radiation intensity that would be obtained if the power accepted by the antenna were radiated isotropically. So for having the isotropic radiation, how much power was required if we are taking that power as the reference. So compared to that power, how much radiation intensity we can have from the antenna. So that is the difference. So for the directivity, we are not at all been considering the power, how much power has been given to an antenna from the source. But for this gain, if we are considering the radiation intensity, along with we have been considering that how much power has been given to have the isotropic radiation. Okay, so obviously if the power which has been given that was 100% used to have the isotropic radiation, then we can consider yes, it is same as the directivity. If the power which has been accepted by the antenna, that much power is not at all isotropically radiated, then efficiency comes into picture. Then there is in question how much efficient that antenna is. So depending upon that efficiency, we need to consider the gain, how much efficient our antenna is. So if the antenna is highly efficient, then we can consider that it is same as the directivity. Okay, so we can say this gain is equals to 4 pi into radiation intensity divided by total input or accepted power, that is previously that was P rad, now this one will be 4 pi u theta comma phi in any direction P in, that was P rad, now it is P in, it is also dimensionless. It is also dimensionless. So previously that was P rad. So out of this P in, if 100% of this P in is get radiated, then we can say yes, it is having the highest efficiency and it is same as the directivity. Now if this P in, out of this P in we are having the different P rad, then we need to take into consideration of this efficiency of the antenna. Okay, so same we can have the relative gain. So what is this? It is the ratio of the power gain in a given direction to the power gain of a reference antenna in its referenced direction. So what it says, it is the ratio of the power gain in a given direction to the power gain of a reference antenna in its reference direction. So if we have been considering an reference antenna which is not an isotopic source, but it is having a particular direction of radiation, so comparing to that antenna, if we have been comparing our antenna, that antenna under test, that is known as relative gain compared to that reference antenna. But the condition is that the power input must be same to this both antenna. So this reference antenna may have different direction, our antenna which is under test, that may have different direction. Okay, the power input must be the same for both antennas. That is, relative gain is equals to P max antenna under test AUT by P max reference antenna into G, gain of the reference antenna. We may have partial gain also. It is same as previous one. G naught is equals to G theta plus G phi. So what is this G theta? It is 4 pi u theta by P in, and G phi is 4 pi u phi by P in. Anyone having any doubt on this? Since we discussed about the antenna efficiency, so let us see what is this antenna efficiency is. So this is the ratio of the total power radiated by an antenna to the net power accepted by the antenna. The ratio of the total power radiated by an antenna to the net power accepted by the antenna from the connected transmitter or connected source. That is denoted by epsilon r is equals to P rad by P in. The total antenna efficiency. So this radiation, how much radiation out of the input power, it is depends upon different parameters within the antenna. So this total antenna efficiency is used to take into account losses at the input terminals and within the structure of the antenna. Such losses may be due to, first one, reflections, mismatch, because of the mismatch between the transmission line and antenna. The transmission line by which this antenna is connected, due to the mismatch between them. Second problem or second loss may be due to the conduction and dielectric loss. The antenna is on which kind of dielectric? It is situated, it is located on which dielectric? So this efficiency E naught, it is equals to ER, EC and ED. So what is ER? ER is reflection efficiency. EC is conduction efficiency due to the conductivity of the material by which this antenna is manufactured, and ED is the dielectric efficiency. Next one is beam efficiency. So this gives you the information that the fraction of total radiated energy from an antenna in a single beam, the fraction of the total radiated energy from an antenna contained in a single beam. So that beam ideally considered as the major lobe. So on that major lobe, fraction of the total radiated, means if we are having some other side lobes also, comparing to those lobes in the major lobe, how much radiated energy contained. So that will give us the beam efficiency. That is, beam efficiency BE is equals to power transmitted or received within cone angle, that is solid angle, some cone angle. So beam, it may have the shape of cone, so that's why it has been saying as cone angle theta 1 by power transmitted or received by the antenna. It is also dimensionless. So for a particular cone angle theta 1, if we are having the radiation, particularly ideally if we say about the major lobe, so how much power is contained within the lobe out of total radiated power in every direction. So that is known as the beam efficiency. So where this theta 1 is the half angle of the cone. So if we are having this some beam, something like that, so this one is theta. So this is theta 1 is the half angle of the cone. Within which the percentage of the total power is to be found. Percentage of total power is to be found. That is, beam efficiency is equals to 0 to 2s pi 0 to theta 1 u theta comma phi sin theta d theta d phi by total pi in the total azimuthal plane 0 to twice pi 0 to pi. The denominator will consider all the direction u theta comma phi sin theta d theta d phi. So normally if this theta 1 is for the major lobe, if theta 1 is chosen as the angle where the first null or the minimum occurs, first null, so we may have some other side lobe, so this is the angle, so first null occurs, first null or minimum occurs, then the beam efficiency will indicate the amount of power in the major lobe compared to the total power, compared to the total power. Fine. So if this theta 1 is considered for the first null, then we can say that we have considered the major lobe.